So plans have changed, and I have a very limited time to film this. My neighbor is blowing leaves, and there's a tornado warning alarm or something going off. It's like a test or something. So if you hear any background noise, I apologize about that. I really have to film now or it's never. So things have changed. I posted a video talking about surgery plans, and it kind of sucked because I talked about a bunch of other stuff and I had to edit a bunch out, so that video sucked. But I've learned some things, and it is influencing how the surgery is going to go. And what that is that I was diagnosed with intracranial hypertension. I have been having what I've been calling migraines for a long time now. I have migraines, just to be make sure I don't confuse y'all. I do have migraines, but about several years ago, I started having this pressure and pain in the back of my eyes, tingling in my head, a bunch of symptoms, and it was being ignored by my neurologists. And I finally found a neurologist that believed me and did an MRI with contrast, and they found that it looked a little funny. My optic nerve is kind of crooked and kinked, and my optic disc is bulging, and there's too much cranial fluid in my brain. And so we did a eye exam, and they saw papilledemia. And so they diagnosed intracranial hypertension, which is also called pseudotumor cerebri. Based on that, most of the time they have you do a lumbar puncture, but we decided not to do that because with my EDS I'd be at a higher risk for complications. And my mom's actually had a lumbar puncture before, and she had a bunch of leaking after it. And so, you know, there's enough data to say that it is hypertension in the brain. So we're just gonna skip that test to prevent any other things going wrong with me. And so because of that influences the surgery. And the reason that does is because the mirena IUD has been linked to cause or trigger intracranial hypertension in some people. And it is the synthetic progesterone, I think is what it is, that can trigger it or cause it, or however you want to say that. And so I need to get off birth control, but the only way to do that is to have a hysterectomy. Technically they could remove it, but that means that all of my other conditions are going to get worse. And so I'm still sad, but I'm now more in an area of like, this 100% has to happen. It doesn't matter if I'm sad about it or how sad I'm going to be afterwards. I know that I cannot keep my uterus and be off birth control and be sane, and I know that I cannot keep my uterus and my birth control and still be sane, because pseudotumor cerebri, which is the other name for it, can lead to death and can lead to vision loss, and my optic nerves are already being fucked with. So yeah, it's not good. My issue is that I still have the barriers that I had. I'm still 24 and I have no children. And so my doctor is more on board with it now. He was always on board with it, but he's more on board now. And my therapist, I don't know if she's a therapist or psychologist or what. She's PhD, but she's basically just gives me therapy. But she is, she's writing a letter. She basically, I'm pretty sure she's already done with it and sent it in by now. Stating that I'm competent and I know I know what I'm deciding and all that jazz. And you know, she is saying that I need it for my mental health, because I do, you know. I have to get off birth control, and the only way to do that and keep me sane and not affect all my other crap is to do the hysterectomy. And so she's writing that, and my doctor is talking to the medical board, which I think they're not an issue anymore. I think it's just my insurance. So I need a hysterectomy. It's not cancer. It's, you know, it's not anything like that, but it's kind of in the same realm. I need to get off birth control, and the only way to really do that is to do a hysterectomy. Again, they could take the IUD out, but I'm going to have, you know, more fainting. All my other medical conditions are going to be flared. And I already am pushed to the max of what I can handle. And so, you know, we got to keep my brain healthy and all my other stuff healthy. And so I need a hysterectomy, and I'm sad about it, but you know, that's our only option, and I'm terrified that they're going to tell me that they couldn't get it approved. It is December 1st as I'm filming this, so my fear is that I'm not going to find out what's going to happen until the day of surgery. I do have pre-surgery appointment on the 6th, and so maybe I'll find out if they got it approved then. I theoretically could call the doctor, but I'm probably going to give it a few more days, because, you know, my therapist probably just got in the letter, or she might possibly still be working on it. I don't think she is, but I'm going to be going in there with the mindset that I'm getting a hysterectomy, and I'm going to be disappointed if I do not get it, and I'm going to be relieved but sad that I did get it, I think. I kind of feel like I'm almost numb to it at this point, because my brain is like, you know what, there is no possibility to keep it really at this point. If they don't get to do it on the 8th, I'm going to have to fight until they do it, and so, you know, again, with my mental health, it'd just be better if they just do it on the 8th. The plan is they still might need to do a unilateral oophorectomy, which is when they remove one ovary, and it's probably going to be the left one. They might not. It depends how bad it is in there. But they will be cutting out the endo if they do see it, which I'm assuming they will. And they will be possibly removing my left ovary if it is needed, which is called a unilateral oophorectomy. And then they will hopefully be giving me a full hysterectomy, which means uterus and cervix. So that is the plan. And I really don't think I'm going to know anything until either the 6th or on surgery day, which is the 8th of December. And I would really like to know ahead of time to kind of, I guess, you know, let the thing sit, you know. But I'm going in there with the idea that I am getting a hysterectomy. And so if I don't get one, I'm going to be really upset, because then I'm going to have to figure out what to do. And, you know, he might, when I'm under, he might take the IUD out, which I think is what my therapist talked about doing. But I don't want to wake up and have to recover from a surgery and start my period right away. That would be horrible. Unfortunately, though, that might be my only option if they're not able to get the hysterectomy approved. And so that is definitely a big fear of mine. That's really it for this video. I do have some videos planned to come out surrounding like the intracranial hypertension and more on that and the process of getting diagnosed. I did film a video where I came home after a doctor's appointment that didn't go great, and I was extremely angry, and a bunch of anger surrounding just a bunch of medical gaslighting and being dismissed came out in that video. And I really stand by everything I said, but I'm trying to decide if I am comfortable showing it. I think I am. I just don't want people to interpret it the wrong way. And so I do have some videos coming out about that. I just don't know how I want to, I guess, present that information or whatever. But yeah, I'll see you whenever my next video is. Bye.